This isn't enough. If you need to lose weight faster than this diet will allow you to, further restriction of your diet isn't the answer. You have to attack the problem from the other end by burning up more calories through exercise.
Carbohydrate deprivation is a mistake. Without carbohydrates, you have no energy for training. Carbohydrates are also muscle sparing, and without carbohydrates, you won't burn fat properly.
The biggest problem is when you train and when you're preparing for competition to train and everything, if you don't eat carbohydrate and you go really on low carbohydrate, the body tries to make protein, converting it into energy, and it's something that's very hard to do. Protein doesn't give energy. The body has to convert it. Or you eat protein. If it doesn't, you go there to the gym and you have no energy. And that is how slowly the body is incapable of making energy for protein. And that's how people go in ketosis and the energy goes down to zero and finally like getting dizzy and collapsing.
I myself experienced that training for the 1991 Mr. Olympia. It was my first Olympia and I wanted to try to look as good as possible, and I cut my carbohydrates down too low. And on 2 occasions I passed out just from not having enough carbohydrates just to power my legs. You know, my body just shut down. And I was off for 5 or 6 seconds both times. And through experience, I know never to go that low again. So with carbohydrates, you want to experiment and gradually come down. And if you ever feel yourself getting to a point where you're dizzy, you break out into a very cold sweat, you're seeing blurred vision, then you know you're going too low. You know, then you're depriving the body of too many carbs. Up your carbohydrates a little bit and just stay safe.
Most diets involve restricting food intake to reduce body weight. But to be really effective, especially for a bodybuilder, a diet needs to be protein sparing. That is, it should allow you to lose body fat while retaining as much lean body mass, muscle, as possible. Because when you lose muscle, you also lose the ability to burn calories effectively.
Most people know that calories are associated with exercise, that when you exercise, you burn up calories. What they don't realize is that the only thing in the body that actually burns up calories is muscle tissue. Muscle is the only thing that burns calories. Fat doesn't burn calories, bone doesn't burn calories. So it stands to reason that all other things being equal, the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you're going to burn up. Well, you see this with some of the larger bodybuilders. Some of the guys are like 250 pounds in contest shape, and they have enormous amounts of muscle mass. So for them, a diet is perhaps 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. And they may eat as much as 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 calories a day when they're not dieting in order to maintain their muscle mass. Well, this is very, very unusual. Most bodybuilders, of course, are not that big. Most are 200 pounds or 210 pounds. And these people need to diet on much smaller amounts of calories because the muscle mass that they have simply doesn't burn up any more calories than this during the day. When you get the smaller bodybuilders, the amateurs, when you get some of the women who may only be 150, 140 pounds, this can really be a problem because a diet for them may be as little as 1,200, 1,400, 1,500 calories a day. It's very difficult to get all the protein you need and to get all the nutrients you need in your diet and eat that little every day. So their job is then to try and work out a diet that allows them to eat as little as possible and yet still maintain their muscle mass and maintain their nutrition. But basically, the bigger the muscles that you're able to create when you're training, and this goes for anybody, not just a bodybuilder, the more calories you're going to burn up, and therefore the more you're going to be able to eat without getting fat. And of course, that's a big advantage in that the more you can eat when you're training, the better you're going to feel, the more energy you're going to have, and the less difficult you're going to find dieting to be.
When I'm dieting for a contest, I have about 25 chicken breasts a day.
Okay.
25, 27 chicken breasts a day. I come from an Italian family, big eaters. Yeah. I've always had big meals, so it's not like I force the food down, I just enjoy eating. You know?
See, you can get the same results if you will mix more proteins together. For example, meat, chicken, is digested 68% in the body only. That means that 32 is wasted. So out of the 25 chicken breasts, the masses are gaining only 15, 17. You see, if you will eat more fish is digested 78%. You see, is a higher quality protein. The best is eggs. Eggs is digested 88%. Only 12% is wasted. So when you eat 10 eggs, you're getting 9 in the muscles. When you eat 10 breast chickens, or chicken breast, whatever you call them, then you're only getting 6 in the muscle. That's the difference.
Wow.
You need to mix more different proteins like fish, then meat, then eggs, and then the meat difference. You have chicken, beef, veal, lamb, mix it.
You do need protein to build muscle, but not all foods are equal when it comes to providing that protein. Some, as you've just learned, provide a higher or lower net protein utilization than others. That is, your body can actually use a greater or lesser percentage of the amino acids in that food. Also, many protein foods have very small amounts of certain essential amino acids. And without the right amounts of all the essential aminos, you won't get the complete protein your muscles need.
Another factor which has a lot of influence on how many calories you burn is metabolic rate. Now, we all are born with a certain genetic predisposition to metabolic rate, which is simply just a measure of how many calories you burn up over a period of time. Everyone has a natural basal metabolic rate. Some people have much faster, some people much slower basal metabolic rate. For example, we've all met people who could eat and eat and eat and never